Recently, I have been feeling too scared to go out. My family have been sharing news with me of how Asians are getting beaten up on the street of Canada because of the virus. And I find myself getting nervous if someone walks straight towards me on the street. I worry that they might hit me. I generally find it difficult to trust someone. I have different expectations and assumptions of people, and I always assume the worst of people. I don't have an open mind, and I often find myself trying to control how things are. I found that I want things to go as I plan or as I imagine. If they don't, I feel angry or neglected. I have heard people say that you can trust someone if your heart feels safe, or if that person makes you feel safe. But personally, I can't trust someone that easily. I just assume the worst of people, no matter how safe they make me feel. I want to share with you a technique that actually enabled me to trust someone, to trust their action, to trust their intention, and to trust their words. It helps me to be less suspicious about others. Being skeptical is good, but sometimes we can learn not to assume the worst about someone. When you have doubts about someone because you feel neglected or you feel unhappy about this person's action, you need to understand why you are feeling upset. Is it because something the person did or said? Or is it because you are imagining the worst about this person? Did they actually do something that upset you? If so, can you tell them how you feel? Or are you just imagining they deliberately did something to hurt you? Even though they said they had good intention, you don't believe them. Why don't you believe people have good intention? In your opinion, people ought to do this or that, or not to do something to prove that they are trustworthy. But how are they know that? In their view, they are trying to take care of you, be honest with you, and love you. There are subjective truths and objective truths. If you take time to understand the other person's view, to understand why they behave the way they do, to be in someone else's shoes, to consider their feelings, you will be able to get closer to the objective truths, not the truths you keep telling yourself, the one based on your views and opinions. Every time you feel that you don't trust someone's action or you don't trust their words, you should try to understand why they say or do those things. Or maybe you can tell them how you feel about their words and action, and ask yourself, do you have proof this person is not trustworthy? Or is it just that things aren't going the way you want? You want to blame the other person. What do I mean by that? Well, you are trying to be vulnerable to another human being. You are trying to open yourself up, but the other person disappointed you. You feel humiliated. So you tell yourself, this person is not worthy of your trust. I think trust is something that takes time and effort to grow. It's normal that you don't trust someone until they have proof that they're trustworthy. But you also need to learn how to understand people, why they do what they do. Sometimes they have good intention, and you need to learn to recognize this. Learn to forgive someone if they don't do the things you expect them to do, because everybody does things differently, and we need to be patient to get to know each other and be open-minded. Learn to forgive the small mistakes people make. Try to communicate better. That's how you will connect to people on a deeper level.